Okay, so this is a new series about finding birds. So I'm going to take you on a tour of how I find birds. This is just about birding and not about bird photography. So here I am in a local city park. This park is very small and it doesn't look very promising. There are all kinds of buildings around me here and there's very little green areas. There are a few trees, but my goal today will be to find 5 birds and show you 5 species of birds. So I think we come across our first bird. Now let's come a little closer to see this. I'll show you. I'm carrying this old 55 BB lens on a Panasonic G9. The reason why I'm doing that now is because this is a bit of a dangerous place. I don't really like to carry around my real birding lens, which is the Nikon 500mm PF. So I'm going to try and get you some footage of this bird here. Now there are 2 birds on the tree, and I'm talking. They're probably going to fly while I'm talking, but let's just try and get some footage of them so you can see them. All right, let's see. Okay, it's very shaky around here. Okay, so the bird is the chalk-browed mockingbird. That's bird number 1, the chalk-browed mockingbird. I'll try and get a little closer to these birds to get a little bit better of a shot, but I might not be able to. They might fly away. All right, that's good. I just got a few clips, a few seconds of the chalk-browed mockingbird. It's right there in that tree. Why don't you look up in that tree? Well, I gotta say, we ran into a little bit of a hitch here. It's raining a little bit. I'm not sure we're gonna get to 5 birds when I've only seen 1 species, but I am hearing some birds up in these trees, but they're way too tall and I don't like craning my neck. Hold on, there's a motorcycle there. Okay, these trees are quite tall. I don't like craning my neck up to see all these birds. I'm not a very good birder. I have seen quite a few birds, over 700 birds, but they're all easy birds to see, or most of them are. So I really don't like craning my neck up to see the birds, but I did see a bird fly. I just saw one right now. It seemed like some kind of pigeon, and there are only 3 pigeons that come to this park. There's the ear dove, the picazero pigeon, and the ruddy ground dove thing. So probably it's one of those birds, and I think it's the ear dove, but we have to obtain visual confirmation in order to add it to the list. So let's go and try and find some birds, even though it's raining a little bit. Maybe it won't even work because the rain started to get even more heavy now. Oh wait, there's a bird. That's interesting. This is absolutely crazy. I just see this crazy bird here. I can't even believe I'm seeing it. It looks like a cockatiel, an Australian native bird. It's obviously not a native species to Brazil, but I got a few seconds of footage right now, and there's actually a parrot there. It's a cockatiel, a native Australian species, and it's raining like crazy. That's the 2nd species, but I don't think it's wild, but I'm gonna add it to the list anyway, because I really don't want to have to stay here for too long in the rain. It's a little difficult to get the shots. I'm going to try and stabilize this camera. If I sit down on the ground, it's going to get quite jittery, so if I stabilize this camera a little bit, I'm going to have to get a clear shot of it. Oh yeah, look at that thing. So it definitely looks like a juvenile or something. Oh, and it just flew away. It's flying away now, so that doesn't really count as a bird in terms of actually bird watching, but it's going to go on the list as bird number 2 since it's so strange. I mean, seeing a cockatiel in Brazil. I hope it actually is a cockatiel, but I'm pretty sure it is. So let's try and find 3 more birds, and that'll be good enough for today. Okay, so I think we found our 3rd bird. This 3rd bird is probably the ear dove. Let's take a little closer look. There's a pigeon feeding on the grass here. Oh, and there are 2 more over there. Okay, so over there's some pigeons in the grass. So I'm going to try and get some shots of these pigeons. And they're definitely confirmed ear doves. Let's get a shot. A shot has to be done to confirm it. Again, it's very unstable, so I'm going to have to use this bag to stabilize myself, but that ear dove's moving real fast, but it's definitely an ear dove feeding. There are 2 of them in there. Oh, that ear dove didn't like that other ear dove. Okay, well then, we confirmed bird number 3 is ear dove, and this is a natural species that has a natural population here, unlike that cockatiel, which is a very unusual bird. And I think there's something else in the grass over there. What's that? It's another interesting bird and a different one. I don't know, it was chasing something. Well, the bird that just went behind there, I can see it again, it's the Rufous hornero, and it builds mud nests. And there are actually 4 or 5 nests right in this park, and they're giant nests made of mud. And we captured some good footage of the Rufous hornero actually building the mud nest a little earlier. Okay, so now I just moved a little bit further down here, and I'm going to try and get a better shot of the Rufus hornero than I just got before. So the Rufus hornero, it's feeding on the grass all day, and it defines its territories there, and it's a very territorial species. So let's see if I can get a shot of the Rufus hornero. It's not going to be very good because it's a little far away. The Rufus hornero just went behind a tree. Sometimes they're easier to get close to, but this one seems a little shy. But at the very least, you'll be able to see what the Rufus hornero looks like. So that's bird number 4, Rufus hornero. So far we've got chalk-browed mockingbird, cockatiel, ear dove, and Rufus hornero. And we just got to find one more bird for the goal for this park, 5 birds. And that's not always easy because this park is really small. But let's see if we can try. Now, this is not a new species, but I just found the ear doves in a tree. And there's a tree next to this other tree, so I'm going to use it as a stabilization system. So I can get probably a slightly better shot of the ear dove. I have to go down a little bit because... Okay, so a little bit more shots of the ear doves. But unfortunately, I still haven't found our 5th bird. I think I'm going to have to go cheap and look up in the sky. I think we finally found our last bird, which is good because I'm getting real hungry. Okay, so up in this tree, there's a picazuro pigeon. It's one of the other pigeon species that can be found here. Actually, I can't even see it anymore, so I'm gonna have to go try and find it, but it was just there in this tree. It's a picazuro pigeon. It's a very large pigeon with a white band on its wing. So let's go see if we can actually find it. I couldn't find the picazuro pigeon, but I did find another bird up there, the sayaka tanager. There are 2 of them right in the tree right up here. They're just sort of flying around and hopping on branches. I didn't really get a good shot of it because there's nothing to really stabilize my camera here, and I don't have a tripod. But basically 2 sayaka tanagers, so that's actually species number 6. And if you believe that I saw the picazuro pigeon without any evidence, that's another bird for the list. So we actually exceeded the target for today in this tiny little urban park. Shows that you can find birds almost anywhere. Well, there you go. The rain is starting up again, and we found 6 birds. We found the chalk-browed mockingbird, the cockatiel, the ear dove, the picazuro pigeon. We found the sayaka tanager, and maybe something else that are, the Rufus hornero. We found the Rufus hornero. So we found 6 species. That was pretty good. Now that it's starting to rain, it's time to go home and eat dinner. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of just birding, live birding with me, and I hope to see you again quite soon.